G'day, this is Captain Noob, and this is the DC-15A blaster rifle, and it is a semi-highly customizable energy weapon for you to put in your game. It's a standalone weapon, and we'll get into the attachments here. So obviously the DC-15A blaster is a weapon used by the Grand Army of the Republic. If you want to learn more about this weapon in universe, I suggest you go and watch some other Star Wars YouTubers. I'm not going to give you the spiel there, but I will talk about the attachments here. So this thing has 4 capacitors which you can chuck on it. Overcharged armor piercing is what we're going to do because that'll give us the best damage, and why not have good damage. Now the sights here are a little bit strange. As you can tell, they don't actually do anything to the weapon, which is kind of odd. So I'll go ahead and chuck on a reflex sight there. And we'll keep this at semi-auto now, although this does have a stun and automatic variant, which is actually kind of cool, and I'll show those off as we get into it, but we'll leave that on semi-auto for now. And last of all, the ionization is just the legendary slot, and which we'll leave clear for now because this thing on its own has its own legendary effect, which is robots take an additional 50 points of damage and have a chance to be staggered. Obviously this is an anti-droid blaster used by the clones, so that makes perfect sense, but enough of that, let's get into the Gunner's Plaza and shoot some gunners instead. Righto, so here we are in Gunner's Plaza with our DC-15A blaster, and before we get into shooting people, I just want to take a quick look at this armor here. So obviously this is some clone trooper armor of the 501st variety, so you know, watch those wrist rockets, yeah, blah blah blah. So this, I believe, is ripped straight from the new Star Wars Battlefront 2 beta files, so yeah, this is a mod on the gun network, so yeah, that's a pretty good little job here. There's multiple different variants of armor you can get, but I've just chosen the more iconic Star Wars Battlefront 2 one, and of course the game is out recently, and had it not have been a total consumer shit show, I think I would have more likely picked it up. Anyway, we'll go ahead and get the semi-auto one out first and start shooting some gunners. Now, as you can tell over there, that some of these gunners are in fact highlighted, and this is due to the visor of my helmet giving me just a power armor mod. And the first thing you might notice about this thing, other than the sounds and the cool model of it, is that the projectiles are slower than a wet week. I could run up and punch them faster than these projectiles get here. This makes this horrible for leading, so if any enemy decides to try and move whilst I'm taking them down, it'll make it very difficult. But luckily sometimes gunners just sort of stand there and let you shoot them, so they play nicely sometimes. We'll just get rid of these turrets in first person here, and for some reason my barrel doesn't quite clear that, even though it should. One of the problems with this weapon is that it's did I miss somebody? No, I didn't. Yeah, one of the problems with this weapon is that the projectiles actually come below where the barrel ends, so I'm not sure what the hell is going on there. But as you can tell, there's also a custom projectile thing onto it, so it actually kind of looks like a laser bolt. And though I'm shooting humans in Gunner's Plaza and not getting that extra damage, it's still doing a fairly good job. This thing runs on plasma cartridges, which makes sense in, I mean, this weapon, they shoot cartridge of plasmas and stuff, I don't know. I'm not too sure about the weapon, but that kind of makes sense to my mind, and it makes the weapon's ammo easily to obtain. We'll just quickly kill him, and we'll switch over to the automatic one, I think. So we'll go ahead and take out these turrets nice and easily. Obviously that bonus damage that we get from the weapon's legendary effect will actually bring the turrets down nice and quick. And obviously the automatic variant will give you a lot more DPS. So if you're looking to use up more plasma cartridges whilst having pretty good DPS, better than you would with the semi-auto, then this is a good way to go. So next up we've got the stun weapon here, and this one fires the actual projectiles, and it'll go ahead and freeze them on the ground there, which is kind of bizarre. Maybe if they were to use the Iron Fist effect there, where it doesn't freeze them when they go onto the ground, I'd just like a standard paralyze, that would be good. We'll go ahead and try to paralyze every gunner in this room before taking them down. Again, the projectiles don't move very fast, so that's why Jedi are able to block laser bullets, because look how fast you could hit that. I mean, I'm pretty handy with a cricket bat. I'd be able to hit that back at him. Anyway, all these gunners are now stunned. Let's go ahead and take them out using this. And they'll get up pretty soon, so I'll go ahead and take them out with, I believe, the auto one after I get you killed. Damn, firing this thing at anything past close range is just death. But anyways, we've killed these gunners with reasonably good efficiency here, and the armor definitely looks good, although it doesn't look quite as good as a female body. Obviously, clones of Jango Fett were male, so it doesn't really translate well, but I think it's a nice little way to dress up for this video. We'll move on to Swan now. Alright, so Swan's over there attacking some generic Rust Devils, and my little question here is whether this thing can actually stun Swan. I doubted that it would, but there's no harm in trying. Nah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that it doesn't. That's fine. Swan is immune to being frozen and or paralyzed, so that's par for the course. We'll get stuck into him with this, and if we need it, we might change a legendary effect for later. Now, unfortunately for me, this thing doesn't do a lot of damage and will take a very long time killing Swan, so what I might do is quickly cut this. We can extrapolate this thing in its standard form. Oh, hold on, hang on, she's holding up actually quite well there. We'll go ahead and get a VATS run on Swan over here, and as you can tell, since I put on the reflex sight, this thing is really efficient in VATS, and we should be able to get heaps and hits on him. We're taking him down reasonably quick. We'll just go ahead and get a crit on him. And when you slow down this thing shooting, it sounds like a... that sound is familiar, but it's the plasma rifle sound. Of course it is, but I'm thinking of the Fallout 3. Yeah, I got a little bit confused there, but yeah, that's definitely the plasma rifle sound, so that's where it gets its slow-mo sounds from. So the modder of this weapon hasn't added in any sort of slow-mo sounds for it, and wow, that was a good job, me. I've got better pathfinding than Swan sometimes. Now, in terms of the armor's protection here, it is actually doing better than my standard apparel. Obviously, it's actually armor, but I'll be able to take out, or just take a lot more rocks from Swan here, and we're doing quite well on his health. Now that we've gone into Nerd Rage, we're doing a little bit better, but I think it is time to get myself in a more advantageous position than on this little grassy plain here, but we'll see what we can do. And I'm not a gambling man, but I believe we'll have a really good chance of taking out Swan just with his VATS run. And before he throws that last rock, he goes down. So, you know what? A pretty good fight. I think I underestimated the power of this weapon, and that's a little prequel reference for you. But yeah, this thing does well against Swan, even though it's not particularly designed to fight him. So we'll go ahead and move on to an actual robot now, and I'll think that'll serve this weapon well. Right, there's Ahab the World Slayer, I believe, over there. He's not quite in VATS range yet, but we'll see how we do. If we need, we might go ahead and equip ourselves with some more plasma cartridges, but I believe we should be enough to just kill him. So do I have a shot on him now? Yes, I do, but it's very low, so we'll just open up on him just like this, and that is the biggest super battle droid I've ever seen, says this clone trooper as he goes and shoots this big old sentry bot, then gets punched in the face immediately. So we'll go ahead and do another VATS round on him, and I believe this one's health pool is a little bit higher than Swan's, so he might actually take a little bit longer despite having that extra damage, and he's taking his sweet time to do his little slam there, which he completely missed. Good job. And for some reason, he's got this massive fire hydrant stick that usually behemoths would hold under him, and I believe that actually counts as a hitbox for him, so you could actually do damage to him like that. Now, he's got fusion cores on him, doesn't he? And I'd believe that that'd actually be a good spot to hit for a sentry bot, although I'm not sure if this one actually goes ahead and, wow, we're actually hidden from him? No, we're not. Yeah, I'm not sure this one actually goes ahead and overheats, so we might not actually get a shot at his, fusion core, but we'll just keep on shooting him regardless. This way, he's gone ahead and mutated, and I think he's out of bullets because he's just going the knuckle all the time, so this makes fighting him very easier, because usually he's got some rockets and some flamethrowers on him from what I remember. I haven't actually fought this guy in a long time. See, whenever I play Fallout these days, it's to just record weapons videos. I haven't done an actual playthrough apart from my one-hit wonder playthrough in a very long time, and I seem to forget a lot of things, which is interesting. But anyways, more about Star Wars. Is anyone on that Star Wars Sith posting page? It's basically a shit posting thing on Facebook, and it's Star Wars Battlefront 2 memes are hot right now, so you know what? I think it's a good idea to get on that Star Wars bandwagon, I suppose, but yeah, there you go, there's Ahab dead. We'll move on to one more monster, why not? Righto, let's get some use out of the stunning of this weapon, so if we could just target him in VATS, you know what, I'll just do it manually. Haha, yes, it actually works. So now that he's down on the ground, whoops, I'll whip out my little blaster rifle here, and try to take him out. Now, despite being an energy weapon, it has an impressive amount of recoil on it, and for some reason it'll stop firing every few shots because sometimes third person is glitched. But anyway, that ghoul is running at us again, and before he can go ahead and charge us, we'll just go ahead and freeze them all up and continuously shoot him in the head. And since he's ragdolling, the force of the projectile is actually pushing him back. Wow, that didn't last long. Well, there you have it. That was the DC-15A blaster rifle. That's probably one of my favorite Star Wars weapons because just look at it, it's just a big old gun. It's mean, I like it, I like all the look and feel of the Star Wars weapons, basically because they were just done up props of weapons that existed during the World War eras and made it look sci-fi, but I think the work looks really well. I'm not into overly futuristic weapons like phasers and the like, and also that is the synth replacement that I'm not going to take on now, but I'll call it there. So if you'd like to see this weapon in your game, be sure to check out the description, and if you'd like the armor, this is on the Gun Network once again, so you're going to have to get a account to get this, I believe, but they're all good people over there. They actually ask for permissions to posting their mods, so it's nothing illegal. Stop being an idiot, people. Just don't believe, just think for yourselves about these things, alright? Anyways, that is about it for that. Thank you for watching, guys. See you tomorrow.